153 Faction War. This is an Arena of Ashes and Chaos Space Marines versus Orks. For the blue Chaos team, we have JuhwannX as a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed with some powerful offense and disruption, fights mainly in melee combat. He is breaking absolutely everything already. It's some Black Legion over here alongside Redbeard as a Plague Champion, starts off range combat with a damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair, but it's pretty slow. The Death Guard elite scheme. And rounding us off for the blue team is Ugandan leader as a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander, lots of great manipulation and control abilities, begins in melee combat and has some pretty powerful offense too. This is the player that changes their name like every 3 days, so I'm not sure what their original name was anymore. Red Orks, we have D.O.G as a Kommando knob, infiltrating commander that shoots you, stabs you and blows you up. Orky style, begins range combat with a twin link shooter. Looks like they are going to be at the top against the Chaos Lord. Alongside here, Professor Ragin Drunk Maru is a Warboss, a melee hero that can walk through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. He's in retreat there, let's make him even angrier than usual. And rounding us off is Hammerhead as a Mekboy, teleporting commander that fights range combat, great for capping with some awesome support disruption and can also build structures to support stuff too. Getting stuck in there. Decent range damage off that guy. Some Tzeentch worship. Kicking off early in the southwest, as we would expect, to very aggressive factions that can start incredibly strong. And we do have double heretics up for both JuhwannX and Ugandan leader. Redbeard with double CSM. A little bit more solid, but a little bit slower too. Those heretics are going to wipe. There we go. And sluggers, miraculously, have like 4 models on 150 health. That was kind of lucky for D.O.G, but hey, he judged it well. Kommando now being sneaky. Chaos Lord might struggle to contest the top quickly. Not the quickest hero around, although it does have the Corn worship to help him out with that. Doom bolts going off on a bunch of Orks. Don't seem too phased by it. Sluggers in retreat though. Are they going to go down in retreat? These CSM trying to get into melee range, that was a mistake. Should have just kept shooting. And they weren't able to finish them off. If they just stood still there and shot at the highest accuracy they could, they would have finished them off there. I think you do lose accuracy firing on the move with the vast majority of units, CSM included. 490 to 437, single cap for red team. I think they have moved towards... I don't think there's much. Maybe no units or heroes have 100% fire on the move anymore. Maybe some like walkers have it and stuff. But I don't think any infantry units have it anymore. Commander knob in retreat. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments. Got the cap. JuhwannX did replace the heretics that they lost. I mean, losing default heretics isn't the worst thing in the world. They're very, very cheap. And you can replace them relatively quickly and easily. These guys now, with an aspiring champion, gives them a Chaos Space Marine to lead them with bolt pistol and chain sword, which amps up their effectiveness in combat quite a lot. Also raises the health of the other models. Plague Champion having a look at power there. We're trying to defend his power, actually. It's the Orks that we're having a look at the power. Here comes JuhwannX to help defend. No, turns around. Looks like his teammates have it under control, I guess. Here's Redbeard with double CSM to force melee combat those guys with a ton of war, and they take out those sluggers. And I believe, yes, those guys had burners as well. Those were Maru's sluggers. Will he replace them? Spent to upgrade them with the burners. Drop some more shooter boys as well. He's going to drop everything here. These shooter boys do get away. Looks like Maru had some kind of problem controlling the game there. Perhaps a lag related issue. Storm Boys in big trouble as well. These guys are Hammerhead Storm Boys, and they go down very bad. Minute or so there for the red Orky team. Maru having problems retreating there. Sometimes don't avoid 2 units, they just ignore you. Orks not the most well known for following orders and stuff either. 464, 393. Looter boys setting up there at the top for D.O.G, who's doing relatively well up here. Can his teammates now recover? Maru now has double shooters up, getting Knob Leader on the one he just purchased. And double shooters for Hammerhead too. That's all they have. Mech with the battery pack and spiky armor and boss pole Warboss. A big risk there for Maru to come around this direction. He didn't seem to actually hit the power because he got distracted or held up by enemy units. And then tried to retreat through double CSM with Eternal War, which didn't work out. Speaking of hitting the power, this got bashed a little bit there by the Sorcerer of Ugandan leader. And now he's feeling some Daka. Really pack a punch those shooter boys in tier 1. Here comes some heretics with Aspiring Champion. Eating tons of fire, couldn't stay in there for too long. Here's Redbeard's heretics, also with an Aspiring Champion. Not sure what they're trying to do, trying to get around to the shooter boys, I guess. And have done so, and there's Touch of Nurgle. That is going to be devastating to those shooters. Global ability of the Plague Champion causes dying units to explode with an AoE damage explosion and an AoE heal. Actually scales off the unit that explodes. Mekboy shot down there. And now the Plague Champ is behind some cover, which he loves to do. Sit behind cover and shoot. And they got rid of the Orks there. More Storm Boys for Hammerhead. Lost the first squad of them. Do have power weapons, those could put a lot of pressure on those double CSM. Ugandan leader with some Havocs. And tier 2 for Redbeard even. Straight into tier 2. Double CSM tier 2 with Eternal War, and why not? Done well. Light grenades on the way too. That's some bad news for Orks clumped up. Bashing power here, not looking good for the Orks as we get to the end of tier 2. Really not. Can they recover here and make a game out of this? Noise Marines up for JuhwannX. D.O.G had a bad engagement, looks like, as double looters up here, which is pretty rare to see double looters in tier 1 for an Orc player. And some sluggers lost all of their shooter boys. Chaos Lord is level 2 with the Combi Flamer and needs to go to tier 2. He's floating now. Can the Orcs crack the bottom here? Completely lost their power. Lots of Daka though. And now reviving the mech is the Warboss. It's not going to level him though. 464 to 335. Suppression now from that heavy bolter. Storm Boys are going to have to commit to the jump. There it is. And there's user choppers from the Warboss. They got the Havocs out of there, but didn't want to stay in too long. Heretics were moving in and they could get Touch of Nurgle at any moment. There's a Nurgle Shrine. Warboss mixing things up. So an aggressive move from the Orks. Able to maybe bash power, but they couldn't really punch through the VP. But they're keeping the pressure up as they go into tier 2. There's Dark Flames, global ability of the Sorcerer. And this could be bad if he doesn't get out of there. Heretics closing in, and there's Chains of Torment. Nicely done by Ugandan leader. Heretics were suppressed just in time. If they weren't suppressed there, that could have been a wiped out shooter boy squad. Tried the Blight Grenade on retreat path. Couldn't quite hit it. Those shooters getting very low, very low though. Close to going down. Death Dread on the way for D.O.G. Tier 2 for all players. Looks like Maru very slightly will be the last player to get there. Look at this. D.O.G. pushing through the top. Double looters here, which is going to be bad news for JuhwannX. Could try and run the Chaos Lord in under corner where shooting, but he doesn't have the Dark Halo. They're going to get a 2-to-1 here. 463 to 296. Big VP lead for the blue team. They've had the bottom for a while. And now that Nurgle Shrine there. Maru doing the right thing. Coming around the other way. Bashing power pretty effectively too. Slow to respond, the blue team, but they are now. Got a generator and a node. Might get another generator. Didn't want to risk it. Power Claw is up for the Warboss. He is super pissed off right now. 95 heavy melee DPS from that thing. Then there's a Death Dread. With burners and bits for D.O.G. He's going to go for the gens or up top? Looks like he's going up top. And Juhwann doesn't really have a way to deal with that, so that could be a bad few minutes for him. He's in tier 2. And has plenty of resources though, could respond quickly. Chaos Sorcerer now getting shot to pieces. There's aiming, what's that? Look at this Plague Champion though, setting up a Blight Grenade on retreat. Nicely done. Hits them, that could be a dead Shooter Boy squad. Because now he's going to hit them with these bolter on retreat too. Yeah, those guys went down. Maru now getting some more Shooter Boys, not having the best of times. Every time he tries to go around and hit that power, gets punished, which happens on this map. Death Dread got rid of some stuff. JuhwannX is not buying any anti-vehicle that I can see. I see Arm of the Inferno on the way. Is he saving up for a Dreadnought of his own? Weird Boy for D.O.G. now has a pretty varied army with lots of threats for JuhwannX to deal with. Double setup teams, a Walker, and now a AoE specialist sub-commander guy. Level 3 Plague Champion. Level 3 CSM as well. D.O.G's Death Dread is causing problems. Redbeard has a Chaos Dreadnought now at the bottom, stomping around with that auto cannon. That was a Noxious Cloud to get rid of these Shooter Boys. Barely survived. Looters now for Hammerhead to get a beamy Death Gun, I guess, and another Death Dread this time for Maru. Orks on the back foot, but I say that D.O.G is doing very well at the top with the 2-to-1 cap, 375 to 296. JuhwannX might be needing some help up here. Where are the other looters? I guess they had to go back to base. Weird Boy is stomping around the center alongside the Death Dreads. We see the Malignant Blindness go off from the Chaos Lord to reduce the range of all of this Orc stuff for about 10 seconds or so, I think, maybe 15. Death Dread has found some Havocs, gets them off the field. Are you getting a beamy? You are. Powerful anti-vehicle weapon. These guys are also getting a beamy Death Gun. Warboss getting stuck in level 3. Should be okay. Should get away there. I mean, well played by the Orks. Got some walkers up and they're getting in their face. Tier 3 for JuhwannX. Tier 3 for Ugandan leader. JuhwannX got no tier 2 units whatsoever. Neither did Ugandan leader, I think. That's allowing these Orks to get back into the game. If they can bash power now, that would be a very good time to bash power. It's always very painful to have all your power bashed as you go into tier 3 usually. These guys need to come down here. Trying to finish off the Chaos Dreadnought, of course. They did bash here. Weird Boy doing his thing. But double CSM with Marco Zinch packing a punch in range combat. Sluggers need to be careful. Those guys are chasing down the Chaos Dreadnought. I think they're going to finish it off. Boom, one more hit did it. These Death Dread doing some work here. Have they leveled up? They haven't, but they're like halfway through level 1. And still no real... Oh, we do have a autocannon, I guess. That's the only anti-vehicle on the field. Chaos Space Marine is in disarray here after a very strong tier 1, but JuhwannX has capped up the top. Can D.O.G push back? He was doing some work in the mid, bashing power and the like. Double cap now for Chaos. Might get a triple. Blood Crusher out for Redbeard. A pretty late Blood Crusher. Not sure what he intends to do with that. I don't think a Blood Crusher will take on a Death Dread 1v1. Power Claw kill for the Warboss. There's a Noxious Cloud. It is. Just keeping those Shooter Boys out there. Weird Boy also for Maru. Have some very powerful varied options in tier 2 Orks. Those Heretics did well, but did get scared off. Can JuhwannX hold the top here? Warp Vomit hits. Oh, stops the Chaos Lord from using the Let the Galaxy Burn. It seems like he lost the energy for it as well, and I bet it was put on cooldown also. And just killed some Heretics, I think that was. Was that an Aspiring Champion? I think it was. So I think D.O.G is going to get back up there. And Orks have taken the bottom. Blood Crusher, how long do you live? Not very. Was a strange choice from Redbeard with double Death Dreads out, a Weird Boy and a Power Claw Warboss to try and then get a Death Dread working for you. A Blood Crusher working for you. Touch of Nurgle Heretics. Run away, as do the Storm Boys with only the Knob Leader remaining, gets out of there. Tier 3 now for Hammerhead. War Truck for D.O.G. JuhwannX still not purchasing any units. 353 to 147. Looters capping. We'll see if D.O.G can get across there. Death Dread was dealt with eventually. Warboss continues to go absolutely ballistic. He's level 5 now. And I think he'll be okay. Those guys can't really get into melee in time. Maybe if they moved a little bit earlier, they might have finished him off. But it's going to be okay. You know what? If the Plague Champion was shooting at him that whole time, I think he would have gone down. Wanting to get that VP though. And there's the 2 to 1. 353. 126. Straight on this power again. Haven't been able to hold this consistently, the Orks. Stick Bombers now for Maru. Seems to be going through the entire Ork roster. Chains of Torment doing some work. Plague Champion goes down. Alright, he was knocked back by this. Lucky got hit by a flesh hook there. But it was just the Mekboy being sneaky. He's level 3. And they get rid of the Chaos bottom pretty easily. Can they bash the power down there? Meanwhile, top. Death Dread still stomping around for D.O.G. This guy's level 2. He's done really well. Going after the Chaos Lord himself, it looks like. Slugger's getting caught by double Heretics. Not sure if they're going to get away. They do not get away. War Truck could not come in time. Left those guys in play a little bit too long. Maybe would have been better for the Death Dread to be tearing through those Heretics. As it is now, gets rid of those guys. So I think, yeah, JuhwannX lost out there, despite taking down the Sluggers. Chaos Lord, 5 hit points, being flamed. Gets away, got down to 1 hit point there. Orks have the bottom. There's another malignant blindness going on, which is why these guys seem to have no vision. There we go, it's cleared up. 335, 106 Orks. A fantastic job coming back into this game. They kept knocking on the door and have found some real success. Those Chaos players going straight to tier 3 has caused problems. Mistimed. If you mistime tier 3 with 2 players in a team game, you're going to have problems. Especially JuhwannX doing that at the top of the map when it doesn't necessarily have the support of an ally. I mean, if you're alongside an ally like they are at the bottom, you can say, hey, I'm rushing tier 3. So get a heavy tier 2 and carry me through. But JuhwannX couldn't really do that, and he's paying for it now. Warboss has become a real threat. Great unclean one though on the way for Ugandan leader. Tier 3 for Hammerhead, and can drop a rocks. Yes. Maru could also drop a rocks if he can get tier 2. That could be very telling, fighting over that contested VP. Look at this. Triple cap for the Orks. D.O.G. really putting on a good performance at the top. Land Raider Phobos on the way for JuhwannX. Strange choice, really. Really wants rid of the Death Dread, I guess. Would have expected perhaps a couple of tanks instead of that. Phobos is generally kind of a luxury purchase, which you wouldn't necessarily get in a 1v1 situation. Generally needs a lot of support to be effective, the Phobos. That slaughter up on the CSM. War Truck used well to get that Weird Boy out of there. Looters were now set up, and we have some more Sluggers for D.O.G. Double Sluggers, in fact, to repair the crap out of Death Dread. They have their Knob Leaders, but they don't have Burners yet. I'm guessing he wants to go tier 3 now, D.O.G. How much population does he have left, even? Not that much. Raptors jumping in from Redbeard. Catching those shooter boys very nicely. Got them both off the field. And I think they pushed up a little bit too much there, the Orks. Overextended a little bit. Now a bunch of stuff forced off the field. Looted tank though to try and stop this cap of the bottom. Great and clean one on the field now. Coming towards the contested VP, and he's looking pretty hungry. What's going on top though? There's the Phobos doing some work. Catching D.O.G off guard. And we'll see if he can deal with it. Does have double looters. One of them already has a beamy. Does he get another one? Can't get his rocket launcher yet. That's a tier 3 weapon. As it stands, it's the Death Dread going to town on this Phobos here. Now backing away from those las cannons. Really good usage of this thing. It's level 3. Weird Boy on capping duty. Also has some anti-vehicle damage with his basic attack. Looter Boy is getting hits. Needs to be careful. Trying to work with a Land Raider up these stairs is not easy. So they retain the top as a double cap for the Orks. Raptors getting into trouble. They need to be really focused, those guys. Jumping range units at the right time. They don't want to get caught by the Warboss or by sluggers or even by the Storm Boys. 93 to 106. That's what happens. You get out a jump unit kind of late. They're behind the curve in terms of XP. These Storm Boys are level 3 by comparison. Need to pick their fights extra carefully. Great and Clean One looks like he marched through and did some work, but is now being shot up. And it's the mech on capping duty. No foul snare to knock him off it. Maybe it's already been used. Teleports away from the Great and Clean One. Tried to use Cloud of Flies, which does knock you back. It might have knocked him off the cap. Look at this from D.O.G. JuhwannX needs some help. He needs to be asking for help. Redbeard needs to be going up there. Double cap here. 43 to 106. Can the Orks pull this off? Nob squad on the way for Maru. Looted tank on the way for Hammerhead. I guess the first looted tank was lost at some point. I don't see the... Oh, there it is. Might have been the Raptors over there with that power fist. Infiltrated Great and Clean One. Warp Vomit into a Rocks. Nicely done. And a pretty effective Rocks. That was Maru, I think, using his nuke there. Almost finished off those heretics. 16 hit points on these fellas. GG, says JuhwannX, and the Orks take it with a 2-to-1 cap. Who would have thought, after that pretty disastrous start at the bottom? But they didn't panic. Maru recovered very, very well, as did Hammerhead. And D.O.G, MVP at the top, controlling things pretty much. Only time he lost the top is when he went mid. And JuhwannX went tier 3 at the wrong time and just couldn't get back into it. Couldn't get his groove going. Ugandan leader also going tier 3 without any tier 2 units didn't help. And it's a lesson. A lesson in when to go tier 3, I guess. Level 4 Chaos Lord is down at the end. We have level 4 Plague Champion. Only had the Blight Grenades. And level 6 Chaos Sorcerer. Robes of Torment did some work. Also Tome of Subjugation. Ready to mess up some knobs. Here's a Kommando knob. Special Shooter. Kaboom and Infiltration Kit. Level 7 Warboss. Lost some stuff early on, did Maru, with those attempts to bash the power, but came through so strong at the end. And Hammerhead, a level 4 mech. And Orks see it through. There you have it, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And a big thanks, as always, to Rostam and Impregnable for organising these faction wars. And, of course, for the players who come out and give their time to get these things going.